everybody. Welcome to another edition of Quarantine Kitchen. I am Jenna McCarthy, nutrition educator with Mono and Alpine Counties, and today we are making a tasty side dish. It is Jicama Slaw with curry lime dressing. It sounds like there's a lot going on, but not really. There's just enough to balance out the flavor profile. So what you're going to need is two cups jicama shredded. Okay. And I did this earlier and drained it a little bit. I'll talk more about that in a second. So 2 cups jicama shredded, a cup of green cabbage, thinly sliced, 2 green onions. You want the greens and the white part. The white part's a little bit, has more of a kick, more of a bite to it. So your preference, but this calls for both. And then we're gonna have the zest and juice of 1 lime, 1 teaspoon honey, 1 teaspoon curry powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So to get started, you're going to mix your jicama. And again, my hands are nice and clean. Always a good idea to wash them for at least 20 seconds before you start cooking, not just during COVID. So combining the jicama, the cabbage, and you can do whatever ratio you want. My husband's going to want more cabbage in this. I know he'll chop his own and put more of it in. That's fine. Green onions. And then we're going to make our dressing. So I have already put my honey, the salt, and the curry powder in a little mixing bowl. I'm going to massage my lime. Kind of helps release the juice. Oh, I didn't drop the knife, but here we go. Oh, actually, I need the zest, don't I? Just kidding. So you want to zest it before you juice it. I forgot I needed both parts. So, my little microplane. I'm just going to do this right over the bowl. Whenever you zest the lime or the lemon, you just want to make sure you don't get all the way down to the pith. You just want to barely get the surface. You don't want all that white part. That's the pith, and that's really bitter. It smells like lime. Yum. Fresh for the summer. This is a great side dish when you're grilling. I love it with chicken thighs. So really great for 4th of July time, but really anytime summer. I made this, I tested it once here at home, and then I loved it so much, I've taken it to a couple different work functions before we closed down. So that was last maybe fall and winter, maybe February, March. Time has run together. It's kind of hard to remember all of that. Okay, so I have a good amount of zest here. All those colors. Now I can cut it and get the juice out. And this is one, I don't have a lot of gadgets in the kitchen. You can do this on your own without the gadget, but honestly, the lemon juicer is one gadget I find really worth it. They make lime juicers too. I just don't see the need to have both because obviously the lemon one is big enough that it works for the lime. But I use citrus a lot, so this has really made my life easier. All right, so have the juice in there. I'm going to whisk this up. And you can try this with different spices if curry isn't your favorite. It's just the jicama and the cabbage are going to have a pretty mild flavor. And then that lime's going to give you all of that bright citrus. The honey's a little sweet, but the curry powder really just rounds it out with a warm flavor. So it really balances it nicely. But again, you could try different spices. I just think it might be it honestly might be too limey. It might just taste like lime on the side if you don't balance it with some sort of seasoning. We're getting there. I'm holding that. A little exercise. I really like making a salad early in the day. That way it can refrigerate all day, but honestly, it gets it out of the way. And most importantly, when I was shredding this jicama, it means I eat jicama as I go because I have this ginormous jicama. So if you're not familiar, this is what a jicama looks like. I do grocery pickup. I don't go in the stores. So I ordered more than one just in case sometimes you get them and people have a hard time picking these out. So I ordered more than one, and so I have a bunch, but the other one was ginormous. So I'm gonna add this here. So I was shredding that, but I had extra, so I just cut them into jicama sticks, and it's kind of a nice, get this spatula, all this goodness, or rubber scraper, I think is the proper term here. I grew up calling this a spatula, so that's hard for me. I should look that up. I should know this for my job. We're all learning. But anyway, I like to be in the morning because then I'm eating jicama. I'm snacking on jicama. And whenever I get vegetables in the morning, I feel like I'm ahead of the game. So anyway, I like to do it in the morning. But yeah, really great side dish, especially with chicken thighs, but really anything grilled. This is going to brighten that up a little bit. So I promised you that I'll talk a little bit about the jicama. This doesn't suggest draining the jicama. And honestly, if you were to serve this right away, it's probably going to be fine. But jicama does have this extra like milky juice that will come out over time. So it's going to, if you don't drain it and it sets for a while, it's going to sort of, it's going to get a little bit of liquid in it. And then it's also going to dilute the dressing. So you're not going to get that intense lime curry flavor like you do otherwise. Still got some white parts in here. So just trying to get that dressing over all of the jicama, break up that jicama, kind of get stuck together when you drain it. Trying to get this all evenly coated. But yeah, so I drain the jicama because I'm not going to serve this right away. I'm certainly, usually when I do these, I cut the recipe because I'm just eating it in the moment. But we'll eat this later tonight for dinner. But the two of us still probably won't get through this, so I'm going to have leftovers. So I definitely take the time to drain the jicama. I just leave it in a little colander in the sink for a while, and I press it down a little bit. So it doesn't, it's not labor intensive. It just takes a little bit of time. But again, if you're serving it right away, it probably doesn't matter. Fork to taste this. So again, you can adjust the seasonings to your preference. I want to make sure I get some of that onion in there too. You know, if you have dogs, what happens like when you leave the house for even 5 minutes and you come back and they're like, wiggle, 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 wiggle. At least my dogs do that for me. That's how I feel when I eat good food, but especially this salad. So it's just, see me, I do a little dance because again, it's just so, the flavors are so rounded out. You get a little sweet of the jicama, the honey, you get the bright citrus of the lime, and then that curry powder really rounds it out with that warm flavor. So I'm gonna have another bite because it's so good. This is one too that if you're unfamiliar with curry powder or someone you're serving is unfamiliar, it's kind of like the secret ingredient. Like they'll taste this and be like, oh, what is that? Like that's so good. What is it? So if you haven't tried curry powder, I would really suggest trying it in this recipe or on other things. But if you haven't tried it, I guess what I'm saying is please try it before you just, I'm just not going to use it. I'll just put pepper in it or whatever. Like this is a great dish to try it on because it's really well balanced. But again, this is Jicama Slaw with curry lime dressing. It's going to be high in vitamin C, high in fiber with that jicama. Again, great side dish to all your barbecues this summer. Hope you enjoy. We'll see you next time on Quarantine Kitchen.